is element 1.3 of NABOSH IGC. In this sub-element we have to know who does what in organizations. First is the employer. The employer is a person or organization that employs people. The employer in this context is normally an organization, such as a company, and is sometimes referred to as the corporate body. They are a legal person. The employer has responsibility for ensuring that the workplace is safe and free of health risk. As we noted earlier, this responsibility is made clear in ILO Convention C-155, ILO Recommendation R-164. The employer carries ultimate responsibility for ensuring that the workplace is safe and free of health and safety risks, and ensures the safety of workers and others. For example, visitors and contractors. Responsibilities of directors and senior managers are as follows. Give an organization its direction. Set its priorities. Allocate resources and appoint competent persons. Allocate responsibilities. Are responsible for ensuring that all of the legal requirements are met. Directors and senior managers can have enormous influence over their organization and its priorities. The way they are perceived by those lower in the management hierarchy is very important. They must demonstrate clear commitment and leadership with regard to health and safety. Middle managers and supervisors. Middle managers and supervisors are involved in the day-to-day operational running of the organization, so they are responsible for the health and safety standards within the operations under their control. The shared responsibilities of joint occupiers of premises. As per ILO Convention C-155, Article 17. ILO Recommendation R-164, Recommendation 11. Sets responsibilities which are as follows. Employers in shared facilities should communicate to develop appropriate health and safety standards and appropriate policies and procedures. This may include sharing of procedures, for example fire and emergency response, sharing of risk assessments, joint management committee meetings, contractor management. If a client can be held responsible for an injury caused by a contractor working for the client, then it must be in the client's own best interests to ensure that contractors do not endanger workers or others. Shared duties. The way that a client manages contractors can be broken down into three key areas. First one is selection of contractors. Second one is planning and coordinating the work. Monitoring and managing the work. For the selection of contractors, these things should be checked. Health and safety policy, risk assessments, qualifications and training records, membership of a professional organization, maintenance and equipment testing, previous or current clients, accident records, enforcement action, adequate resources, planning and coordination of the work. Information to be shared between client and contractor. These are as follows. Hazards posed by the site and work carried out. Hazards posed by the contractor's activities. Risk assessments. Method statements. Arrangements between the client and contractor include ensuring activities don't conflict. Permit to work system to control activities. Monitor and managing the work. Clients must monitor the work to ensure safety. The client can stop the work if it involves unsafe practices. Auditing against agreed method statements is a good technique. End of Module 1.3. These are some exercise questions. To whom does an employer owe a duty with regard to health and safety? How can directors influence health and safety? What are the key worker responsibilities? What would you look for check when selecting a contractor? Let's quick recap what we have learned in this element. In this element, we have introduced some keywords such as health, safety, and welfare. Times highlighted the three main reasons why an organization has to manage health and safety, which can be summarized as moral, legal, and financial. Set out the basic requirements of the international standards that govern health and safety, i.e., the ILO Convention C-155 and Recommendation R-164. Discuss the consequences for employers and workers of non-compliance with legal standards, together with the possible issue of worker compensation. Noted some sources of information on national health and safety standards. Identified various parties within and outside of the workplace and the responsibilities that they have. Considered the responsibility that a client has for the management of contractors and outlined the steps that a client should take to choose a competent contractor and plan and monitor their work.